Hey everyone. So in the last video I shared some tips on ways that can help you to be consistent with your drawing and practice daily. And as I had mentioned, I have 7 more tips and I'm going to share them with you right now. So again, I'll make it really quick. Thanks everyone for supporting my book, Pen and Ink Drawing: A Simple Guide. I really appreciate all the support. And also for everyone who has taken the time to leave a review on Amazon or Goodreads or Instagram, all the websites. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate you going out of your way and taking some time to, just give some feedback about how you feel about the book. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks so much. And remember to look out for the workbook that will be coming soon. Okay, so let's get right into it. Now, just like I had mentioned in the last video, our mindset, the psychology, our attitude is a big part of the challenge in drawing daily. So don't be too hard on yourself. Trust me, it happens to everybody. It's a natural thing. We tend to get lazy, we lose motivation, we lose confidence, we hit creative blocks, but the worst thing is to stop creating, is to cease, to do nothing, to let inertia take us over. A thing that is not moving will tend to stay not moving, and the thing that is moving will want to continue moving. But the worst thing is to get trapped in the vicious cycle where you don't draw, when we stop drawing, and then we feel bad for not drawing, and because we feel bad, we feel discouraged, and when we get discouraged, we don't draw, and then because we don't draw, we feel bad again, or worse, and then because we feel worse, we get discouraged, and the cycle continues. Don't get trapped in that. Before you know it, it'll be weeks and months before you actually touch pencil to paper. Okay, so number 1 is to keep your tools and workspace ready. All right, now if you have a job, you'll notice employers make sure that whenever you get to work, you don't waste time getting ready to work or preparing yourself. They make it so that when you get to work, you can start working within minutes or less. All right, and that's the same way we have to kind of treat our art. We have to find ways to remove the procrastination or delay in getting started. So what we have to do is just remove the excuses. Sharpen your pencils, prepare your pens, your paint, your paper, your ink, whatever is it that you need, so you have no excuse to just get going. Okay, so number 2 is to draw at the same time every day. See, we're naturally creatures of habit, and sometimes the best way to develop a habit is to do the same thing every day at the same time. You see, of course, that's if your life allows that. Okay, now doing this allows drawing to become a natural part of your lifestyle, and it becomes as natural as getting up to brush your teeth or something like that. So after a while, what you'll find is your natural clock will just sound off when it's close to that time. Now, the only thing I would add to that also is that try to choose a time that is your optimum time of day for creating. I think everybody has an optimum time of day. Like for me, I work best at 3, 4 in the morning. Try to find a time that suits you best when you're in your best mode for creating, for drawing. If you find a time that's really convenient for you to create, most likely you will get started and get going without much push and motivation. Now, following up on time, now number 3 is to use small pockets of time. All right. Now, we don't have to wait for ideal blocks of time or places or circumstances to create or to draw, right? So whether you're on the bus or the train station or the doctor's office, you just have some spare time on your hands, you can make it count. In the right moment, and with only a few minutes, you can create a sketch that captures or expresses something that you couldn't reproduce in 2 hours. And who knows, that may be all you'll be able to do for that day, but you know what? At least you will still be productive and you'll be making progress. You can look back on that day and say, you know what? Yeah, I did that sketch when I had those few minutes. Or, because life, gets busy sometimes, and you won't always have an ideal time to just set aside to create. So if you have a few minutes here, you have a few minutes there, try to make the best of it. Now, following right up on that is to always carry a sketchbook with you. Own a portable sketchbook. I carry a sketchbook with me almost everywhere. On the plane, on the bus, and I'm driving. What I've found is this, and it's a psychological thing. Not only is it useful for drawing or sketching or recording or whatever it is in that moment, it also helps me to be mindful about drawing. Once I know that it's there, I have it with me, The thought of drawing is always close by. Just knowing that I have it, for some reason I'm more vigilant, I'm more aware, more self-conscious, alert of opportunities to draw. Keeping it with you not only is good for the convenience of being able to draw in that moment, but also to keep your mind present. Now, number 5 is to make sure you set aside days where you just brainstorm. You just make notes and plan. Don't wait until when you want an idea to try and create one in that moment. It won't always happen. It saves you lots of time and energy when you can make time to brainstorm and keep notes, that you can build on later. Every time you find yourself with a few minutes here or there, it may not be perfect for a drawing, but it may be perfect for you to work out an idea, create a concept map, create a diagram, write some notes or write some questions, just jot something down. Use lists. I have a list for ideas, a list for questions, list for things to look up, list of things to research, list of artists to look up, list of books to read. That's why I have ideas for tutorials from now till forever, because I'm always taking advantage of the moments where my brain, my creative thoughts are just flowing, and I try to exploit them and make the best out of it. Because you know what? I know there's gonna be days when I have no ideas, when I can't think of an idea to save my life. And what do? I go back to my list, browse through it, look up a question, an idea I had before that I wrote down, tap into that, and use that to keep me going. Now, this next tip is one that I use a lot. It can be a little challenging, but if you find a way to conform it to your way of thinking, your lifestyle, your natural style, it will work a lot. And it is to make a schedule. Say, for example, you say, okay, you know what, Monday, or it could be for the week, or it can be for the month. I can say, okay, Mondays and Thursdays are my sketch days. Tuesdays, I'll work on a final drawing, and on Friday, I'll continue it. Saturday is my day to take pictures. Sunday is my day to relax, my freestyle day. I just do different things. And then I'm gonna repeat this every 2 weeks or every week. However you choose to do it, but do it in a way where you don't pressure yourself, but you do give yourself some structure. It takes a lot of the what am I going to do tomorrow out of the question. You know that Thursday is coming up. Oh, that's my sketch day. Friday, oh, that's my day that I go out and take some pictures. Oh, that's my day I just find a scene somewhere outside and I do that. On Sundays, I do this. Now, a lot of you may say, well, creativity doesn't flow like that. That's not the way the mind works. And it's true. So what I sometimes do is to make it a little bit more flexible for myself. I may not necessarily say, okay, only Mondays is my sketch day. I may say, okay, you know what? 2 days out of the week or 2 weekends out of the month, I'm going to do this. 2 Wednesdays, I'm going to do that. 3 days out of the month, I do this. It gives me some room to be flexible, to choose what days. But I have to make sure those number of days is fulfilled for the month. You maintain flexibility, but you do impose structure. Discipline. We need some kind of a structure to keep us going. So the best way I would advise for you is to find some flexibility, but at the same time, impose structure on yourself. Treat your art like it's a craft. You have to develop time to practice and train, and you have, in every field, there is discipline and structure, and in art it's no different. Now, the last tip is to always incorporate days where you do rote activities. There are things that you do without thinking. And the reason why this is important, and again, it's a psychological thing. In science, right, there's a thing called activation energy. It's basically the energy required to get a chemical reaction going. Like when you light a match to create an explosion. Energy from the match is the activation energy. So it's almost like you're trying to push a boulder or a big rock down a hill. But before you can do it, you have to push it over a bump. You see, the higher the bump is, the more energy it requires. The harder we have to push, the more likely we will lose courage or motivation or just give up altogether. So what we do is we have to find ways to remove things that will hinder us from creating. There has to be days when you just do things that don't require you to think, pretty much. Examples of this could be like filling a page of a coloring book, copying a drawing of an artist that you like, redoing a drawing you already did, create a small drawing that only requires like 15 to 20 minutes, do a page of like shading drills or skill building exercise, things that don't require much thinking. Just get out a page and just do it. It's important to have days like that where you just do things that will enable you to creatively rest. you just grab a piece of paper and you just start doing stuff. You need days like those, and you can do maybe like 2 days a week. Kind of put them in between the other days when you'd be working a lot. Days where, for example, you're sitting and you're like, oh my God, what am I going to draw today? Or I don't know what to do. You just pull out a page of a coloring book and you just color it in, because it's still therapeutic, and you know what? You're still doing something, and that's the key thing. You have to keep moving. Okay guys, so thanks for watching, and yes, I'll definitely be doing more videos like this where I'll just share tips with you on, you know, things that I feel like can help you to improve on your journey and keep you going and keep you growing, you know, and that's the key here. And remember, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe now so you can be notified whenever I have new uploads. Thanks for watching, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.